Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whenever you're watching this video on this beautiful planet, I appreciate the support either way. My name is Joe Josh. I go by iChart Daily. Today is Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. Wanted to give you an update on MATIC. I see a couple things playing out in the charts for the mid to long term. I wanted to give you a window to my thought process because I love you guys. So, first things first, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only, a window to my thought process and a bunch of things that I possibly might be doing. I have been doing technical analysis for 17 years now and been in crypto for 9, so it's not my first rodeo. So, first things first, when you have a long-term trend chart, especially like a monthly, and you have everything pointing towards the upside, that means the steps are now going to start going up. What I mean by that is this is a monthly MACD. Trend has been coming down. Trend has been coming down, right? We went from 258 to 43 up to $1.34 down to 51. The most important thing though is not everything goes down forever and not everything goes up forever, right? So now that the trend indicator is telling us that the trend is going up, that tells me we should start opening up longs, right? Next, RSI. RSI tells us when we're extremely oversold, right? Close to the 43, like we were here and here, and overbought close to the 70 or obviously above, right? So the first thing that I'm noticing is we have been making lower highs, lower lows every single time. This is the first time that we double bottomed, and this is the most important price action, whatever it is here, right? We had the break of the moving average, which is strike one for the bullish side. We had a retest of the moving average, which is strike two for the bullish side. We had a retest of the 50 line, and we are now in section A. That is strike three for the bullish side, meaning we have more bullish momentum on our side than bearish. And what that means is now we start going to trend line support resistance and we figure out how much room we have to grow to the next resistance levels and how if there's enough to do a play, right? So the first thing that I was noticing is this right here. We were making, right? We were making these higher lows, okay? We then were making these lower highs, and this is another bullish indicator in my eyes. This price action right here. When you're staying in the trend and then you have a break of the trend, you usually want to see a retest and then support. And we're seeing that, right? We had the red bar, red candle, back to the 73 cents, massive buying pressure, and now we're looking for the trend. Instead of it coming down, the trend should start going up because trend lines go with trend indicator, and the trend indicator is now changing. And once again, long-term trends, meaning monthly charts and weekly charts, will predict what's happening on the daily, right? You're going to see more bullish patterns playing on the shorter time frames because the longer term trend is now turning bullish. So with that being said, we can start looking at support resistance, but sorry, I want to show you this first before I forget. This level right here was support turned into resistance. This 50, let's just say 53 to 55 level. That is when the play will start to boom and rocket, and that's where I'm going to set my first alert. Meaning, once we break that level, we're breaking this level here, potentially $1.17, and we're heading up to the 165, the 188, and then eventually the 248. So, trend lines go with the trend indicator. If trend indicators going up, trend lines going down are void. So now we're looking for resistance levels on the way up. First one's obviously there, 121. Second one I'm going to say here. The reason being is you have all of this price action that was resistance, turned into support, turned into resistance, turned into resistance. Clear as day, the 155 is going to be a resistance level, and then the greed level, I always like to choose a greed level, right? Because what's going to happen is the news was poo-pooing on MATIC like a week or two ago. Oh, people are ditching MATIC. Now the price is going to go up. Guarantee it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread. That's just the way the news works, and that's why you can't trust the news, right? Because same thing with Solana. When Solana had ties with Sam Bankman-Fried and network outages, every single YouTuber, influencer, and investor was coming to the internet saying, I am ditching Solana. Solana then goes up 900 to 1200% during a bear market, and everyone's like, I'm adding it back to my portfolio, right? But once again, don't go with the herd, go against it. So, meaning as MATIC is going up, we're taking profit with the people who are buying it at overbought levels, right? We buy on the blood. That's why they call them sharks, cuzzy, right? So here we are. Someone in the Discord was asking me about where should I put my stop loss. You need to understand market structure, right? This was the most recent low. We came here. This was the most recent low. We came here. This was the most recent low. Then we had that break of structure, and this is the most recent low, anywhere from 78 cents down to 69 cents. So technically, you always want to put your stop loss here, right? Because the market structure is now going up. And if we were to break the 69 cents, well, then technically we're coming back down to the 51, and the play is over, right? But you want to stop your bleeding here because that's where the bleeding is stopped in the past. This is where your liquidation price should be as well. If you are using leverage, and you shouldn't unless you know what the hell you're doing, your liquidation price, depending on how much leverage you use, will be closer to the strike price. The strike price right now is $1.03, right? Meaning if you're using a 50x leverage, they're only going to allow you a little bit of error, let's just say to the 97 cents. If you're using 2, 3, 4x leverage, just minimal, right? They might have a liquidation price of, let's just say, 57 to 63 cents, lower than the last low here. Your liquidation price should be lower than the last low. Your stop loss should be around the last low, so that if we were to come down and break this, you're only down, once again, whatever this is. This would be a, 23 to 31% hit compared to it being a 50% hit. Once again, this is a monthly. I would probably zoom into the weekly, yeah, something like this, and see exactly where the last low is. I would put my stop loss here at the 88 cents. So instead of it being a 23% hit, you're only looking at 10%. That's fine. Now you start looking at risk rewards, right? So one stop loss there. Let's just say 13%, 10%. First take profit level is here at the 17%, 1.25 R&R. Then you're looking at around here, anywhere from 35 to, let's just say, 40% with a 3.43 R&R. And then once you start hitting greed levels of, 80, 90, 100% with a 7, 8 R&R, once again, you're at greed levels. Greed levels meaning that's insane if this happens, right? The same way it took this, literally just, even this here. This is 169% in a little over 2 months, right? This right here is 100% a little lower. Look at that, 56 days again, right? What about this right here? This was 124% in 42 days, right? This was 98% in 35 days, right? This was, come on, man. This was 92% in 35 days, right? So all I'm asking the asset to do is just something that it's done in the past and just hit overbought at these levels again. Once again, if we do this 40% or even the 90%, 70%, it's happened time and time and time and time and time and time again. So I'm expecting it to happen again now that the stars are aligning. That's the video. Love you guys. Take a screenshot. Once again, here, $1.03. First take profits 121, then around the range of 145, 147, greed level of 185. But I'll leave you with this. This is where I would open up not financial advice, but if you're looking to be in the market, you know nothing about crypto, you just stumbled upon this video and you're looking to make some money, this chart looks absolutely insane for the long term. It does. When you have a golden cross above section A, meaning above the histogram, each candle is going to be making a higher high for the next couple of months. We are literally just a month or two away from the halvening. I have been saying for the longest time, since 17.5, 15.5, 13.5, what are you going to do now? Now you're going to be buying Bitcoin at 57,000. We're closer to all-time high levels than we are to the last local bottom. So this right here, I do think it's alt season coming up because Bitcoin's dominance could potentially come down. Bitcoin's still going up. This only has a 43% to the bottom, but yet 166 to all-time high. Pretty crazy how we're talking about all-time high levels pre-halvening, right? You don't usually see that. So here we are. Here's the play. Love you guys. I do think this does play out over the next 1 or 2 months, and easily you could see the 155 level. Anything above that is greed, and you are squeezing pennies, baby. Squeezing them. Enjoy the day. Love you guys. Appreciate the support.